Okay. Is there anyone in the chat? Is there anyone here, or is it being like that?
Let's see here. I do not currently see anyone.
That's great. Fantastic. Also, yeah, since this is probably being recorded, obviously some technical difficulties. An internet blip decided to actually take my internet down for a second there. So the
Hello,
last
Shikaria.
ah, all right. So I'm going to pull that up. Going to hello again. I'm just trying to get the link out to. I hope I didn't just close it. Sweet. Anyway, awesome. I'm having some technical difficulties, of course. And of course, when I get mildly frustrated. Close new link. Alright, and I'm going to copy. I think, yep, that is indeed a new link. Announcements. Sweet. Anyway, so yeah, I was in the middle of fucking talking about alternative faiths and all of that. I'm so sorry about that, guys. But anyway, life be like that, I guess.
Yeah, and
Different faiths, different people. People have their own lives. Generally, I am very much subscribed to the idea that there is not really any one true faith except for the one that you believe in. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. And
whatever is meaningful to you, and that can be literally anything. I don't want to go into the flying spaghetti monster example, but just that's kind of like if it's genuinely something that means something to you, then absolutely
yeah, because
pursue it.
here's.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do apologize for my lack of insight on the matter because I was born with, or I was raised rather with literally no guidelines in that regard. My parents were raised Catholic, but my father ended up an atheist and my mother agnostic. So they
Yeah.
basically let my sister and I make up our own decisions. And basically, I'm a nihilist. Essentially, I'm just gonna say that straight up. But even with that mindset of mine, I will say faith is definitely an individual choice, not something that should be influenced by other people, specifically because the matter of faith definitely pertains to what each individual person wants to get out of life or what they feel might be missing from their life. And if like a specific mindset or philosophy or spirituality like vibes with you and what you want out of life or what makes you feel fulfilled, then don't let anyone fucking tell you otherwise, because that is your decision to make and yours alone.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just choco-mogging my way through all of these fights. I will probably be closing out the stream soon, which is another reason why I was kind of annoyed at the fact that the stream decided to close when it did. But I did want to take a second at the very least to say, to close things out, close out some thoughts. I did already talk about ways that you can support the channel. Once again, there are links in the description as well as evidently on the screen. Coffee is a major nice option. I do appreciate having a lot of many of the talks that we ended up having today are interesting and things that actually mean quite a bit to me.
I found FF7 has brought out some of the most interesting discussions we've had on these streams.
Absolutely. So, made some progress there, gained a couple of levels. So, obviously there's a lot of philosophical discussions to be had. I obviously have a lot of opinions. I keep saying I need to make a podcast and then I never do. So I feel like I'm just gonna fucking add that to my to-do list. I'm gonna just close out of the game. Because I am done with that now.
And you know me, I'm also very much a proponent of the Lorelei podcast.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I think I might also test out doing a handful of them on my own, because clearly I can sit here with my own opinion and just spout it off endlessly. But that
That's
said,
fair.
I'll probably also be bringing on guests every once in a while. I just want to see what I can do to do it on my own for a little bit, too.
That's fair. I've admittedly also been considering doing something to that effect myself as well. And I would love to, if we don't end up doing a joint podcast thing, I would love to have you on as my first guest.
And that's something to keep in mind. Remember to subscribe to Cybernetic Pink Eye on YouTube.com.
Likewise, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to mlorelei at youtube.com.
Or Sirenia Studios.
That too. Both of those.
All of these things, all these little, you know, calls to action, as they are officially called on the business front of things. Again, I'm even going to say I'm not a business person. I am not business minded. I have a couple of things that I have picked up over time, but like,
You've essentially served as my PR department for the longest time, because I can't advertise myself for shit.
Yeah, maybe, I guess, but that's still different from being business minded.
That's fair.
All of that said, you know, there's things that a lot of YouTubers kind of pick up over the years that kind of inform the kind of choices that we make. That's why you see it pretty consistently across the board. People who do the remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And if you want to support me on Patreon, if you want to support me on Ko-fi, if you want to buy my merch from my store, etc., those are all things called called to actions, or calls to actions. And YouTube actually rewards those things, especially when it does remind an audience member to do any one of those things, because literally every engagement with a channel ends up telling YouTube, this is what an audience wants. So, anyway, I go through the list of it. I'm not one of those people who's just like, yeah, I'm a complete and total sellout, and I'm doing all of these things because, you know, I want to... I'm doing all of these things because I want to maximize money, and I have no, morals or compunctions or ethics or anything like that. I just want the most amount of money that I can possibly make. It'd be nice if I could make a lot of money, but I very much, very, very strongly believe that it should be on the merits of the content that I make. So all of my things are basically reminders to people, and basically, ways that you can help out any of your favorite internet creators completely for free is literally link their videos to other platforms, like on Discord or other social media things. Like, if you link to it, that actually has an impact. YouTube keeps track of that shit. It really actually does. Anyone who can go to your analytics of your videos, you can see that it actually tracks where someone has gotten a link. And links that are external from YouTube actually end up bumping your favorite YouTubers up in the algorithm, because they actually favor whenever YouTube gets promoted to other platforms. So when that happens, they reward the content creator with more attention in their algorithm, etc., etc. So any of your favorite YouTubers, literally ways other than throwing money at their various, financial platforms, talk about it with people, share it with people, link to it, comment on those videos themselves. Like, even if you watch the stream live, if you come back to it and comment on it later, that also helps. For example, this current channel, if you comment on the videos on Sirenia Studios, you help show engagement with videos, which is more likely to promote Sirenia Studios in the algorithm, and so on and so forth. And literally just, I know that it also takes a little bit of effort, and I know that it's like literally, I know that I have executive dysfunction, so like I'll be like, well, all I have to do is this thing on this day and just go through a checklist of daily things, and then I get hung up with like, I need to make food for breakfast. And my brain, instead of just making food for breakfast, goes, okay, so to make food for breakfast, I need to get out the cookware. I need to get out all of the ingredients. I need to sort the ingredients. I need to prepare the ingredients. I need to heat the cookware, or so on and so forth. And it creates a multi-step thing that normally doesn't exist in people, and that's the executive dysfunction works. So even on the level of wanting to engage with something and do quote unquote one simple thing can end up feeling kind of like, I can do that later, or I don't want to do that now, or it's complicated, I've got other things that I'm focusing on, etc., etc. So I even get that that's, like, again, none of that's a requirement. I'm just saying it's a really cool way to help not just me, but everyone. Even the more popular ones, the more popular channels out there still benefit from you doing that. Like, it's literally how they kind of became popular, is because people left comments on their videos. I didn't know that about the external links. Yeah, no, that's literally it. Google actually keeps track. It's one of the reasons why there are a lot of people who do, like, sponsorships or, like, ad deals, basically. A lot of people who do have popular channels or popular websites, especially if they do, like, articles or they publish written things, often get approached for business inquiries for things like, if you can write a review on this thing and include links to this thing and this thing and this thing, we'll pay you a certain amount of money for this. Because when they have their websites that are actually linked to on other websites, it not only creates traffic back to the source, but literally, I know that Google especially, as one of the most predominant internet browsers, well, you know, it is with Chrome, but you know what I mean, search engines, that's the word I was looking for, actually keeps track of all of that and literally goes, oh, so there are more links back to this, which means we should give it attention, which boosts it up in terms of relevance in searches. Like, if you go to search on Google for, say, I don't even fucking know, say internet slot machine, you know, like if you want to play slots for whatever reason, since there are a lot of those options out there, they're all going to have various likelihood to be at the top of the list, and not because of actual relevance to what you were searching for, but whether or not they already were popular and linked all over the place. So a lot of these different companies, advertisers, etc., the ones that want to share exclusively with you some sort of cut of basically paid promotion, if you add certain keywords in your written article and you actually hot link those to the websites that these business inquiries actually direct you to, they do that because it helps them. That's why they're willing to pay for you to do this, as well as literally they're trying to pay for advertisement for their content. But that's why you'll often see people who are making insincere reviews that have constant links over everything in their article, like, this is relevant to the thing that I'm talking about. Like, so they'll have they'll make reference to some game that just released and they'll link it, and that link leads to another website that has other opinions on that game. So it's not even necessarily directly to the subject that you're talking about, but it's to something that would be considered related, and of course people click on that link thinking, this is related to what's being talked about. And then they go there and they're kind of, that very often people will click off, but the whole point of advertising is not to actually convince you to buy something, it's to make you get there. Because if you get there, maybe you will see it and want it, or you'll click off, but they still get the traffic there in the first place. It's the reason why the head-on commercial even was what it was, because you remember the head-on commercial. You may not ever buy the product, but you'll notice that product if you ever see it in stores.
At least those of us old enough to remember it.
Head-on. Apply directly to the forehead. And they repeated it 3 times, and that was the entire ad. And of course, everyone who was watching late at night were like, what the fuck was that?
And mind you, this was before the Old Spice school of, making commercials memorable.
Well, okay, but there were also other commercials that were memorable before that. Old Spice only took a theme that was already happening. Anyway.
Fair enough.
But the whole point of things like that to basically generate, I forget exactly what the term for it. It's a search engine optimization. That's what it's called, or shortened for SEO. Search engine optimization is when you put those links into various blog posts, social media, etc. Because every time it's linked somewhere else, there's more links that go to a particular website, which means that Google will most likely prioritize that. And Google, owning YouTube, wants you to post your links to your videos and your channel across the internet because it leads more people back to YouTube, where they can then put ads on everything that everyone watches. It's always win-win for YouTube whenever you post a video on another website. But the way that that helps individual creators is if YouTube is getting the signal that someone's video is popular on other websites and hits that SEO and hits the, the search engine optimization, they're going to then, their algorithm is literally programmed to push your video more around YouTube into the related searches or the related videos to whatever you're watching. Even, that's why you see videos that are completely unrelated to the subject matter that you're watching actually pop up in your related videos. That's also one of the reasons why people who are watching, say, leftist material on YouTube will have right-wing material promoted to them, because that's also paid search engine optimization that they are doing there. Not everyone has that option. But yeah, so, little fucking behind the scenes, peek behind the curtain, it literally helps whomever it is that you're watching if you spread it around the internet and, say, even just literally linking. You don't even have to say anything about it. Just post a link and you will be helping whomever you are linking to in terms of their videos. If you write an article, don't link to anything unless someone pays you to. Just saying. I say that very cynically, but basically you can link to whatever you want. I'm just saying when you prove that you have a platform that they can get more and more of their links to post onto, you're more likely to be approached for that sort of thing. So that's just the business side of it. Personally, like I said, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm not just trying to buy into the numbers game, that I'm not just trying to, capitalize on an existing trend or jump on a bandwagon. I mean, if I were trying to do that, then I would have already played Five Nights at Freddy's, and I would have played every game in the series. Wouldn't matter if it affected my mental or physical health. I would have just done it because money. I try to make things that I genuinely am proud of. I try to stream and be sincere when I do it, which is one of the reasons why I also have days where I'm not streaming, because I don't feel like I can give an optimum me. And I don't want to be sitting here okay, hi guys, good to hear from you. I'm gonna kind of just sit here staring into space. Hope that's okay.
I feel called out because that's literally what my YouTube channel was for the first couple years.
We don't talk about those years. Anyway,
yeah.
So I try to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I am putting myself into, that there's obviously manufactured authenticity. You can check out Lindsay Ellis's video on the subject, manufactured authenticity, which talks about that, which is why all of your favorite YouTubers also fall into the same category of creating little bloopers that they include as a little bonus at the end of their videos, because not only is it funny and engaging, but it kind of gives the sense of, there are human beings behind this, and ignore that most of the time when people are doing that, it's literally to manipulate you into thinking that they're more authentic than perhaps they even are. And that I don't want to fall into that category. I promise I'm not manufacturing my authenticity, or at least I try not to do anything like that. There is something to be said about wanting to put on a good face, frontward facing version of yourself, because you want to be entertaining if you're going to be making entertainment videos. But I want to make sure that I'm not manufacturing my authenticity. I want to make sure that what I'm putting out there into the world is things that I genuinely believe in, things that I care about, and that's why so many of my streams get dedicated to talking about important matters. Insert emo songs here because of first use. Yeah, but so YouTube is a funny little beast, and not a lot of YouTubers are going to talk about the secrets behind the scenes. I think that there can sometimes even be things like shadow bans as a result of talking about it, which is why it's all the more important for you guys to, especially with your very actually authentic favorite YouTubers, to spread those links, because whatever shadow ban they might put on your channel for talking truth, especially talking truth to power, that gets subverted when they realize that they can still make money off of you. So, all of that, nice little behind the scenes look at how YouTube works, as well as how Google and search engine optimization works. Things that are actually interesting to kind of look up on your own, if you are ever interested in knowing how the cogs within the machine work, I suppose. But as a whole, I want to make the content that I'm making. I want to do song covers because I do love singing, even if I simultaneously hate singing because I put myself through mental hell to do it. But I love making story-focused things. I love writing, and I love making content that's focused on those stories, things that are, I suppose, technically easier to consume than, say, a webcomic, which is what I used to do constantly on the internet. I do enjoy voice acting, regardless of whether or not I have the energy for it, and I enjoy playing video games, at least some of them. And obviously, I enjoy talking at great length. That's not debatable. So these are all things that I genuinely enjoy doing, and I'm glad whenever they do resonate with other people, when other people enjoy the same things as a result of my, putting them out there. But I'm not going to be a bandwagon chaser, which is what you are going to see from a lot of your favorite YouTubers, even unintentionally sometimes.
Yeah.
Trying to pursue whatever it is that's popular. So in the same vein of not pursuing anything that's actually popular, let me tell you about a series that I'm planning on potentially putting on Sirenia Studios soon. Genuinely, again, that comes back to I love offering my opinion on things, but you guys may have noticed that there's a bit of a trend with people literally just reading out posts that are made to Reddit. Stories and things along those lines with specific subreddits that are particularly popular. And I remember watching Sorrow TV and being like, I really love the way that he does his approaches to, reading content from various subreddits, because he does something actually original with it. He has fun with it, and he presents them in fun and interesting ways. There are a lot of people who not only just straight up read a post with absolutely no commentary whatsoever, they just read them out and then they move on to the next one. There are some people who have literally created, they use computer generated voices. They take the text and they run it through an audio, like a text to speech option, and that's the entire video. And then they take all of that, they compile it into a video, and they post it because it's a popular trend on YouTube, because people like listening to these stories, this background noise and shit like that. But I say all of that because I do genuinely kind of want to share my opinions on these social things that people are posting. Stories, things along those lines. I hope that my unique interest in these things is going to be the unique appeal to my making videos like this is going to be my commentary, my opinions, the way that I present certain things, and the context in which I provide these stories. So that's something that I'm going to be working on, possibly getting out at some point, probably some point soon, on top of my Symbolism and Lore series, which again I need to go back to, and song covers and other original content. All of that said, I want to make sure that the content that I make is genuinely stuff that appeals to all y'all. Obviously long-winded. I I really need to get this out in a podcast instead of just during streams. I mean, streams are kind of for that anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I've even been tempted by the model of like watching another video from like another YouTuber, but someone that I just thoroughly like disagree with, and then debunking claims that they make. That's obviously another popular option out there, and I point that out to say I've seen those videos, and Griffin, you know as well as I do how much I love to rebut shit.
Yeah, it's sort of your MO.
A little bit. It's one of my MOs. But yes, someone says something stupid, and I like to correct that. I like these kind of videos, so looking forward to that. Yeah, that's just it. Even if it's just I'm lending my voice, which I've been told is pleasant to listen to, lending my voice to just reading these things so that people can go about doing art or other activities and just listen to these videos without having to watch too much visually. I'm hoping to be able to provide more of that for people who just enjoy having background noise or who want to hear my opinion on these things. But I'm looking forward to getting that underway, among many other things. But today has been a day, and I wanted to do a chill session today, and I kind of did, but obviously I still talked passionately about certain things. I am going to close it out. It's just that it's about that time. It's actually technically 40 minutes past my usual time for this sort of thing. But I did want to talk about these things. I wanted to take a little bit more to play this game that I really, really love, and I love chatting with you guys. I know that's the manufacturing authenticity thing that everyone does. I do genuinely enjoy chatting with you. When you guys share your opinions with me, when you talk to me, when you share your thoughts as I'm going live, I do read them, and I enjoy it a lot. So thank you guys all for coming to watch today. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of Final Fantasy VII that we were able to go over today. I hope you enjoyed the discussions that we had, some of the philosophical and even just interest-based discussions that we had. Thank you, Griffin, for joining me today as co-host, as usual.
Always a pleasure.
And, thank you to everyone who's watching this video later. Please check out Sirenia Studios. If you're not already subscribed over there, please do so. It's linked in, everywhere, video description and all of that stuff. I much prefer humans reading them instead of the robot. Agreed. Thank you, Shikari, and I agree. But I'm going to close out, which I have been doing, and then I always do this to myself where I keep talking anyway. This has been fun. And I hope to see you guys next week as we get into the month of December. I'm gonna probably put it up to vote again, whether or not I do art, maybe more Final Fantasy VII, or continuing the Blackwell series. I'm probably going to be putting that up for people who are patrons, but even $1 patrons will be able to vote on that. So, in case you want to, support me as well as have an impact on what I'm doing live, that's an option, just saying. But I hope you guys all do definitely take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people in your life. Stay home, wear masks, and wash your hands. Hand sanitize. Take care of yourself and the people in your lives and the people outside of your immediate circles by behaving in a compassionate,